Ready to go?
Yep.
Welcome back to Jay's Reptile World Australia, everyone. Here we have Cynthia with us again. She's going to help me today. We've just had a yellow spotted monitor, which is Varanus Panoptes, come in on my rehabilitation license. It was actually bailed up by 2 dogs, so we're just going to check it over, keep an eye on it for a few months and see it heal before we release it back into the wild. This is the Varanus Panoptes, your yellow spotted monitor. See, it's a beautiful species. This is a young male. I know when I caught him he actually everted his hemipenes. You can see there is actually where the dogs actually bit him, so there's one small puncture wound there. He doesn't seem too bad, but he's quite cold, mainly because of the cold weather. So I'll keep an eye on him for a week or two. He seems pretty fine, so there's no major puncture wounds there. You see he's everting his hemipenes then, so you know it's a male as he's starting to get stirred up a bit. So, beautiful species. They can get to about 4 foot long, but I actually seen one almost 5 foot long once. It was halfway between Atherton and Charters Towers, right out in the middle of the bush in Australia. So. He actually has a couple of ticks on him, so I'm just going to get Cynthia to de-tick him. I've already sprayed him for snake mites, and then we'll put him in the enclosure I keep here for rehabilitation of lizards, and we'll keep an eye on him for the next couple of months. I wasn't sure whether he had been bitten by the dogs, but you see there he's just got 2 tiny puncture wounds, but it's not deep, so I don't think he'll need to go to the vet with them small wounds there. So it doesn't seem too bad at all. So often when a dog bites a lizard, there'll be really deep puncture wounds, and if they were deep, I would definitely have to take him to the vet. In Australia, the vets are actually funded by the Parks and Wildlife, so any animals we take to the vet, they are actually, the government pays for the bill, so we don't have to pay for it. You see the beautiful yellows on the species. So you see that fluorescent yellow on the front claws there. So beautiful colours. So he'll get quite large, this one, but it's the middle of winter here in Australia, so I just want to keep him in captivity and feed him a couple of times, make sure his digestive system's working properly before I release him back into the wild. So I'll get Cynthia here now. We'll check him out for ticks. I did see one yesterday. Not even sure where it is. There's one somewhere, might be on my back legs.
Do they fall off once they're full?
There it is, right there. Only a tiny one right there, see there? See, he's everting his hemipenes because he's getting a bit stirred up. I've already sprayed him for snake mite, so we just de-tick him, put him in the enclosure. As it starts to warm up, I'll give him a couple of feeds, make sure his digestive tract's working fine.
Tweezers on it.
Yeah, use your fingers if you want. Not the best tweezers. Got it?
Yeah.
Chuck him in the bucket so they yeah, I don't think there's any other ticks on him. There was a baby cattle tick he had on him, because we live in cattle country here where we live in Australia. Beautiful animal, he's getting quite stirred up now. So I'll put him in the enclosure, we'll see how he runs off. See another one, do you? No, it's just a skin shedding. Thing with lizards compared to snakes, when they shed their skin, they shed it in patches, whereas a snake will shed its skin in one go like a sock coming off.
You've got a bit shedding up.
Yeah, you can see there where his shed's coming off in patches. He's nearly finished shedding. So beautiful colours, beautiful species. Fierce predator in the Australian bush. They'll eat a large variety of animals. They'll eat anything from a grasshopper to a brown snake. So eat a huge, wide variety of animals in the bush. Fierce predators. People living in the bushland in Australia should always keep their goanna species on their property, because they will help control the snake species in a natural balance. So we'll put him in the enclosure He's been stressed enough for a wild animal. We'll see how he goes. Just going to sit there and see how he goes for a minute. Doesn't look too bothered at all. So. He should crawl over to the sun and he'd probably just sit there for the day, I'd say. I'll put some water in this afternoon, and once the weather warms up we'll feed him. See what they call them, yellow spotted monitors, the yellow spots. They're actually very similar to the goulds or sand goanna in Australia. It's very difficult to tell the two species apart. There's only a few different ways to tell. This species gets larger. They also have the spots on the throat and the belly that the goulds monitor doesn't have. So it's one of the main ways to tell the difference between the two species. This one's Varanus Panoptes, and the Gould's monitor is Varanus gouldi. We get both species here. You've got to know the difference between the two species, especially when you're doing rehabilitation work. That's it, everyone. That's this Australian yellow spotted monitor, Varanus Panoptes. We'll keep you informed on how he goes in his rehabilitation. Make sure you like and subscribe. Next time we'll be looking at the lace monitor. See you there.